My name is Ethan Carter, and 6 months ago, I thought my life was over. I was living in a $39 a night motel, eating cold beans from a can, when a knock came at 2 in the morning. The man outside wore a $5,000 suit and knew my name. "Mr. Carter," he said, "what I'm about to tell you will change everything you think you know about your ex-wife, her illness, and why she really left you." Back then, I had nothing left. I'd lost my business, my home, and my children. My wife Claire was supposed to be dying of cancer. I'd sold everything to pay for her treatments. My construction company, the house I built with my own hands, my father's motorcycle, even my wedding ring. I thought I was saving her life. In truth, I was funding her betrayal. When the man Marcus Reed, a private investigator, stepped into my shabby motel room, I saw pity in his eyes. He told me that Claire had never been sick. The medical records were falsified, the chemo bags filled with saline and vitamins. Her oncologist, Dr. Harrison Vale, wasn't just her doctor, he was her cousin. Together with her divorced lawyer and lover, Brent Calloway, they'd staged the entire thing. For 2 years, they'd been draining every cent I owned into an offshore account. I remember sitting on the edge of that creaky motel bed, staring at the evidence Marcus laid out: bank statements, photos, fake scans, messages between Claire and Brent. Every page was another knife to the heart. And then Marcus told me who had hired him. My father, Henry Carter. Dad never believed Claire's story. While I was drowning in guilt and debt, he was fighting quietly behind the scenes, gathering proofs, waiting for the moment to bring me back. My brother Sam helped track the money. My mother Martha followed Claire when she claimed to be at treatments. My whole family was out there saving me while I sat alone, thinking I was beyond saving. That night Marcus said something I'll never forget. "The truth is the most powerful change agent in the world." And he was right. Within hours, the FBI arrested Claire, Brent, and Dr. Vale. My kids were told the truth. My father had even bought back my house through a trust, keeping it exactly as I'd left it. Everything I'd lost wasn't gone, it was waiting for me. But let me tell you how I got there, because it didn't start with betrayal. It started with love. Before everything fell apart, I had a life most men would envy. I ran Carter Construction in Denver. I had 2 great kids, Adam and Lily, and a wife I thought was my soulmate. Every morning started with her note on my nightstand: "Coffee's ready. Love you, Ethan." I believed in that love with everything I had. When she called me from the hospital crying, saying they'd found cancer, I broke every speed limit to get to her. The doctor said it was stage 3 ovarian cancer. My world collapsed. She cried in my arms, begging me not to let her die. And I promised her, whatever it takes, whatever it costs, and I meant it. Within months, I'd sold the house, the trucks, the business equipment, everything I'd built over 20 years. Friends offered money, my father offered help, but pride is expensive. I told everyone I could handle it. I was wrong. The bills kept coming: $47,000, $89,000, $120,000. I worked day labor just to pay for her experimental treatments. She got thinner, sicker, more distant. I thought it was the cancer. I didn't see it was the act. The day she told me she was leaving, I thought she'd lost her mind. She stood there, healthy, glowing, and told me she wanted a real man. I remember her words exactly. "You gave up everything, Ethan, because you're weak." Brent sees my potential. She handed me divorce papers like a death certificate. In court, she took everything: custody, the rest of my income, my reputation. My kids looked at me with the kind of disappointment that breaks a father in half. I moved into that motel because I couldn't face anyone. I thought I was done. Then came that knock. And suddenly, I wasn't broken, I was being rebuilt by the truth. When Marcus left that night, I sat there for a long time, holding the deed to my house that my father had secretly bought back. He'd saved my home, my business licenses, even paid my crew to stay ready for me. My old foreman, Ben Pike, and the guys had turned down steady work, waiting for me to come back. At dawn, I drove home. My truck was there, freshly washed. The same crack in the windshield from Adam's baseball, the same coffee stain from Lily's spilled mug. When I pulled into my father's driveway, my kids ran to me, crying. They knew everything now. Claire's lies had finally collapsed. That was the day I learned that rock bottom isn't the end, it's the foundation for something better. Claire went to federal prison for 12 years. Brent got 15 and lost his law license. Dr. Vale was stripped of his credentials and sentenced to 8. The government returned what they could, but the money didn't matter. What mattered was standing in my rebuilt workshop, my kids beside me, sanding wood for their grandmother's new bookshelf. "Dad," Lily asked, How do you trust anyone after what mom did? I told her, you trust but you verify. Love isn't blind. Real love protects while it trusts. I don't hate Claire. Hate means she'd still have power over me. I pity her. She traded love and family for money she never spent. Now, Carter Construction is running again. My crew came back, my clients returned, and every nail I drive feels like redemption. The motel key from room 107 still hangs in my workshop, not as a reminder of failure, but proof that I survived. Sometimes people ask me what saved me. Was it the investigation, the FBI? No. It was my family, the ones who refused to let me stay down. My father, who fought a war I didn't know existed. My brother, who showed up even when I wouldn't answer the phone. My friends, who waited 6 months for me to come home. A few months ago, Marcus called. A man had reached out. His wife claimed she had a rare illness, and something felt wrong. Marcus gave him my number. I met the man, looked through his paperwork, and found the same kind of forged documents Claire had used. He still has his home, his savings, his sanity, because I recognized the lies. When he asked how to thank me, I told him, you just did. Every person we help makes what I went through worth something. My son Adam recently wrote an essay about heroes. He wrote about his grandfather, the man who fought in silence to save his son. He wrote about me, the man who gave everything for love even when that love was a lie. And he ended it with this line, sometimes the real hero is the one who sees you at your lowest and says, get up. We're not done yet. If you're listening to this and you've been betrayed, broken, or made to feel like you'll never recover, hear me now. Your story isn't over. There are people fighting for you that you don't even know about. Sometimes they're wearing a suit. Sometimes they're family. Sometimes they're the future version of you who refuses to give up. Rock bottom isn't the end. It's just the place where you start rebuilding. And if a knock ever comes at 2 in the morning, answer it. It might just be life itself, wearing a $5,000 suit, telling you it's time to come home.